What are you doing to stop it happening to someone else? What are we doing to protect someone else? Do you understand? Because if you don't share this, if you don't let people know that this is what's happening, well, guess what? Now that person now has a license to do it again.
Yeah.
And guess who gave them the license?
You.
You gave them a license to put somebody else in this position through your silence, through you turning away, through you pretending like it's not happening. We got to confront this. We got to start having ownership and pride in who we are and saying, actually, that does not belong in our community and that will not be accepted. Yo, people, welcome to the Eman and Mimi podcast with myself, Eman and Suko, and the lovely
Mary Masuko, aka Mimi.
Yo, it's amazing to be here. How are you?
I'm good. It feels like we haven't sat down and just had a chat for a little bit.
You know what it is this Easter? How was your half term? Tell the ones that haven't had kids yet that are thinking, you know what? I wanna have kids. I can't wait to have children. Tell them about the 2 weeks of torture. Tell them that they call half term.
The last 2 weeks have been madness. Oh my gosh, these kids have ran us ragged. Like, if we just conk it out at the end of the night, like, what is this? Praying for them to be back at school, but
yeah, you know when you don't even fall asleep, like you don't even go to sleep, you wake up and you're like, oh. Like, you've been worked that day.
Lord.
Like, and I'm trying to let these kids know this is my place of work. Just because you have 2 weeks of school, I still got to work. These kids don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're running up and down. They're shouting. They're playing. And obviously, you know, Mia, the baby, she's out
Lord,
here.
That one.
The second she hears you on a call, that's when she wants to come and
ask you a million questions.
Daddy, yes, Mia. Daddy, yes, Mia. I'm hungry. Why now? Why, when I've jumped on this now, you know that you wasn't hungry all this time before? Oh, Lord.
Oh, she picks the worst times, trust me.
Trust me. So, yeah, it's a lot, but it's a blessing.
It is.
It's a blessing. One thing I like about Easter is, rebirth, really thinking about life, being born again, like, a new chance, recreating yourself, renewing of your mind, renewing of your focus, renewing of your goals. And for me, it's like you come out of it after Easter and you're just like, you know what, yeah. I'm ready to go again.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes
absolutely.
You can have a good year. I feel like I've had a good run, to be fair. Been more than a year. I've been doing all right. I've been doing all right. I've had a good probably 3 years. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes you can get comfortable.
Yeah.
And get like, okay, cool.
Things
are going
good.
well. Everything's happening, and I'm like, no. I'm not here to live off my past gains.
Yeah.
Some of us are living off our past wins. Like them ones like you scored a hat-trick against Man United and that's all you ever tell people. Like, but the rest of your career, you did nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Was not the one.
It's not the one. Like, it's like, nah, you know what? Actually, for me, it's like, yeah, I've done well, but now it's to build on it.
Yeah.
It's to use it as a stepping stone to go again. It's like, okay, how do we do better? How do we reshape ourselves? How do I improve? How do I become a better version of myself? And I think that's something we're going to talk about today in regards to, just looking at who we are, who are the people around us, and what standards do we have for ourselves. So let's get into it. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about, I guess, accountability. I guess the word is accountability. Like, do we hold our friends accountable, and the people around us, are they of good character? When you're growing up, if in an African household, they'll be like, show me your friends and I'll show you what you're made of. Are your friends a reflection of you? And if you're hanging around people that are not good, does that mean that you're not good? Because, like, we've seen things on social media where people have been accused of things and their friends have come out to support them. And then as it's gotten worse, they've come to backtrack to say, oh, I didn't know it was like that and I apologize. But how did you not know? If this is supposed to be your brother, your friend, your sister, your sis, your good sis, you hang out together, how do you know their character? Do you just downplay it because you don't want the drama or you just don't care? Because it's mad.
Yeah, I think there's a few things in there that you've said now, because you just went on a tangent and decided to go ham. But I think there's a few things we have to consider. Number one is that we also have to remember that people may only show you one side of them when they're with you. You may never experience or see the other side of that person. Yeah. Number one. So that's where the initial reaction is like, oh, that's my brother or that's my sister. She would never, do you know what I mean? And that initial reaction. So that can be one thing. also, I think number two is that, are people allowed to make mistakes? So if your friends if your friend or friends make a mistake, is that it? Do you just cut them off? Do you know what I mean? How much leverage or how much time do you give them, or how much grace? I think that the word is grace. How much grace do you give them before you say, okay, we can't roll no more, or we can't be associated with one another? Is another thing. And then also it's about what's been done. I think sometimes it depends on what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the mistake that's being made, because I think certain things, like the repercussions are too much. Do you know what I mean? And we'll give examples, but I think there's so much when it comes to it. But for me, I just wanna say straight, like, and this is me talking to the man them, like, I'm very much like my man them, my brethren, man them that I'm close with. Like, I'm a big believer in, are you my brother's keeper? I'm my brother's keeper. Yes, I'm my brother's keeper, which basically means that when my brother does something, that reflects me.
Yeah.
If I know, if we hang, if you're my brethren, like, there has to be an understanding that when you move, I move. Do you understand? And there are certain moves that are not acceptable. Like, not every single one of my friends is mad successful. Not every one of my friends is on this entrepreneur thing, or on this business thing, not even on this work thing or education thing, or whatever, the thing is. Like, not every single one of my friends is successful.
Yeah.
But there is a standard. Like, you see me, I can't have a brethren that has a child and is paying no maintenance, not giving no time, spending no time with their kid, and me and them are brethren.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Like, I can't condone that type of behavior. And then also for me, when it comes to, like, if I find out that my brethren or someone that I know or someone that I'm friends with is like, does domestic violence or beats their partner or whatever, no. I've got to speak up.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I feel like silence is complicit.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
And like, when you say nothing, you said everything. Because if you don't stand up for something and you don't stand up, like, when I talk about ownership, yeah, Mims, like, you see, when we talk about ownership, this is why for me the word ownership is so important, and I think this is something that we don't do enough, and I see in other cultures.
Yeah.
When we talk ownership, I'm not just talking property. I'm talking ownership of how we move, how we behave, how we reflect. We need to own what it is to be, Black, British, Afro-Caribbean or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We need to start to own that. And there needs to be certain things that we say, that's not acceptable. We need to put it in a place where if a man feels like, I wanna beat my girl, or I wanna slap my girl, or I'm not gonna have a kid, I'm just gonna be having kids and just leaving them. They need to know that as a community, we don't accept that.
Yeah.
But guess what? It can't happen. We can't all speak. We have to do it from smaller levels.
Yeah.
So we all have to play our part. And if we hold people accountable and say, listen, you've had this child, you need to be in this child's life. Whether that's visiting, and if you can't be there on a visiting thing,
physically,
you need to be there financially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But the visiting is important. You need to be there. We need men to be in their children's lives. Like, it can't just be a mum thing. Do you know what I mean? We need that. And we've got to hold our friends accountable to that. We've got to set the standard. Like my brethren's not. You can't come around me, like, and you don't look after your kids, and then me and you are gonna go and kiki and go into the club, or go out and do. Not that I don't even know why I said club. I don't even know. But maybe go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Go to a nice restaurant and spend $2 or whatever on the restaurant, and you ain't even giving £200 to your kid a month.
That's crazy. But you said something about starting from the ground level, but does that mean also, like, because teenagers are having kids now, so do we then need to start having the conversations when they're a bit younger and start, even if their friends may not, because their friends may not know how to, they can speak to an older one and say, look, one of my friends is doing XYZ. I don't know if I'm in the best place to speak on it. Can you speak on it? Or is there an age on when you can start speaking about certain behaviors and traits?
I think it's different for each generation. See, my day, yeah, like, when you get on bus, if an older woman said, or older person, normally a woman,
Yeah.
man, them nobody say it, but if an older person come on the bus and say, hey, kids, stop making noise, you would chill out. You calm down. Obviously, you got one of those brothers like, oh, who's he talking to? Chill, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
It's an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's just calm down. When we come off, we'll do what. Do you know what I mean? Like there was that kind of level of respect. Even like, let's say you're out with your mum, like you go to shop with your mum, and then you see someone that you got beef with, or someone that, do you know what I mean? It'll be a thing of man will look at you and man will say, you know what? All right, you're with your mum, so it's cool. Like there's a certain level of street code, and I feel like these days these things are gone. Like man will beat you and beat your mum at the same time. Like everybody can get it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're seeing mums driving the kids to go, you know, beat up some. Do you understand? It's a mad situation right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like there needs to be a certain level of respect, a certain level of rules. But for me personally, like one thing I hate like people taking advantage of situations because you're a man or whatever. Like when I'm hearing like men are beating women and like why? It's too much for me. And it's like for me, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. What
are we doing? Because for me, like, if my bridging, we have to have a serious, like, listen, like, me and my cousin, like, if we heard that one of our bridges was...
You guys are pulling up.
We roll up on, man. Like, what are you doing? What are you well?
Like, ask the real questions.
Give him a quick punch up. We might have to punch him up as well. Do you understand? And man will hold that.
Yeah.
Man will hold that. You know why? Because guess what? Man add value. You see, like, I feel like a lot of us, one of the reasons we feel like we can't speak to our friends is that our friends we don't benefit them. There's no added value.
Yeah.
All we do is banter. So guess what? Because all you do is banter, when it comes to now talk about real stuff, when it comes now to tell a man, oh, you know, you shouldn't do that, man will say, right, okay, I'll just go banter with someone else. But when you're really adding value to your brethren's life, the brethren say,
vice
you know
versa,
what?
yeah.
Vice versa. Man will say, you know what? I value our relationship. So you know, I'm going to hear it from you. I value our friendship. I value the years. I value what you've done for me, what I've done for you. And actually, this is something I value. So I'm going to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
And let's really understand what's man going through. Why are you doing that? Oh, actually, you know what? Man's gonna book you for a therapist. Go get some therapy. See what's going on with you in your mind. What's going on with your mindset? Because you're not well. Like at the end of the day, for me, like I would never see if we argue. Yeah, I would never think, oh, let me slap this girl.
Yeah.
Why would I? I don't understand. What would make you think that? Why would you think that would be the answer? Somebody that you're gonna spend time with, you want your partner to fear you.
I guess I guess that's what it comes down to. It's more of a fear control type thing. And I know some people, because they grew up in a violent environment, they pick up the traits because they believe that's what they've seen. So they believe that that's how it is. So again, they have to unlearn that behavior, go through therapy, and try and find other ways to deal with the aggression that they have within them rather than taking it out on someone.
But are we having these conversations?
Probably not.
As men, them, are we having these conversations? No. We're having the conversations about, oh yeah, that girl's buff, that girl's this. Oh yeah, what do you think? Would you let your girl get bum implants? Would you let your girl do surgery? Would you we're having these conversations? These are the you're not talking about raw. So what happens if you and your missus had a beef? How would you handle yourself? What would you do? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you are beating the mother of your child in a lot of cases. This is the mother of your child. This is someone that has brought life into this world. Like, and you are laying your hands on them, and then your man them might come round, see that the girl's got a black eye, see that, she's got some bruising and stuff like that, and say nothing.
They don't want to get involved.
They don't want it. For me, it's like, no. For me, it's like, no. It just gives me tingles. Like, I just can't. I can't accept that we have allowed this to be okay. Because it's so important that we hold ourselves accountable. Like I look at there's some other cultures, other religions where they don't call police. They've got the person within their community that can be bad and good. Don't get me wrong. But when I talk about ownership of your culture, ownership of what's going on, they have so much ownership that they said, listen, we're gonna go to this person and we're gonna tell the story, say what happened, and then we're gonna take it to the community. And like, what? You're just, why are we not holding? Why do we not have that ownership over our own? It's not just about owning stocks and owning shares and owning businesses or whatever. It's about ownership of what it means to be us. It's about ownership of our culture. It's about ownership of, and remember, this is a behavior, like you said, this behavior can be taught behavior. So this is what we're passing down. That's going to be your legacy. When you're gone, your child will always know this is
how daddy treated mummy, so that's how I'm going to treat.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And like sometimes we're saying, oh, why did the girl stay? Why? Listen, let's stop this.
No, definitely. Let's stop victim shaming and victim blaming.
Like, we don't know what people are going through in their life, but they shouldn't have to even have a choice, have to even think about, should I stay in this abusive relationship or not? Because they shouldn't be being abused in the first place. Absolutely. Like, and sometimes we so look at, why did she stay? Why didn't she call the police? Why is she in this position? Why does she have to be in this position? Do you understand? And let's start looking at actually what kind of men are we raising? What kind of, and this is not just a man thing. This can be a woman. This can be a female friend. I'm just talking about because of what we saw in regards to watching a show on YouTube, and it was like when I saw it, I was just so irate. Like I just watched it and I just thought to myself, look at what this man has done to these 3 women. Now it's come out like over 10 other women out here that have all gone through this, and
not one of his friends could even, not one. Could call him up.
He's out, going out, doing this, doing that, and not one of his friends will say, you know what, big man? Like, if you move like this, me and you can't be friends. We can't be. And you ain't, and also, you're now, once you know that this is someone's, what are you doing to stop it happening to someone else? What are we doing to protect someone else? Do you understand? Because if you don't share this, if you don't let people know that this is what's happening, well, guess what? Now, that person now has a license to do it again.
Yeah.
And guess who gave them the license? You. You gave them a license to put somebody else in this position through your silence, through you turning away, through you pretending like it's not happening. We got to confront this. We got to start having ownership and pride in who we are and saying, actually, that does not belong in our community and that will not be accepted. And if you act in these types of ways, we're so quick to cancel culture.
Hey.
Oh, the cancel culture's quick.
For celebrities, for...
But what happens if you're not a celebrity, if you're not on... What happens if... We need to have that same culture. We need to say, listen, we're not gonna accept it. Like, yes, I know, obviously, as a Christian, there's forgiveness. Yes. But before that, there must come accountability.
Yeah.
Before I can forgive you, you must accept that you made the mistake.
Hey. You must accept your mistake and be willing to change.
Come on.
Before someone can even say, okay, let's try and work through this. Let me try and forgive you. Let me try and find a way so that we can coexist together.
I'm so tired of, I forgive this person, or, we have to forgive and did it. But where is the accountability? Where is it that says, like, we forget that. We forget the 10 Commandments. We forget some of these, what the punishments that have happened. There are repercussions. And what we have to understand is that when I saw like some of these girls on this show, like, they're gonna spend years
trying to unlearn, trying to deal with that, trying to heal.
And luckily these are but if you're then sexually assaulted, even though mentally some things can hold, but if you're sexually assaulted, this might affect how you now go into a relationship. You may never feel like you can be intimate with somebody again because of the violation. And then that person can just get up and go again. Because we're all forgiving it. We all make mistakes.
I think there's some mistakes that are unforgivable.
I just think that, like, even like the manipulation Like, you know what your man does. There's difference between a man being a charmer. Like, I'm not saying man can't. If your man cheats, you must throw him in a bin. Like, whatever. Like that. I totally get that. If man are players or whatever, that it is what it is. But what we're talking about is manipulation. When you are manipulating somebody,
And you know what you're
and you're
doing.
doing it in a way to control that person. Now you get with this girl. Now she's buying you a car. Now you're using that car to go and link some next girls. Probably even the man then when you've even jumped in the car and man was like, yeah, my girl got this for me. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, bruv, you must have been giving her the baddest D, bruv. Bro, wake up. Wake up. He's got a girl giving him a car. He's got a girl paying for him to go on holiday. He's got different, and you know.
You know.
You know what's going on. He's telling you
behaviour.
all the stories because you know, man. It's all ego. Man will do it, and the man will be telling his closest brethren, like, yeah, brother, yeah, man just got this girl to do this. What are you, man, saying? Are you saying, right, bro? But that's somebody's daughter. Are you saying that's someone's sister?
Do they forget that they have sisters and mums and aunts?
That's someone's mother.
Like, do they forget that, or is it just their brain refuses to register that the humanity side of that?
I don't think they forget. I just think they don't take it deep. They take it on that because when a man's telling you the story, man's doing it in the most. It's a banter thing.
Yeah.
Man's doing it as a joke. So man are laughing. But you're not deep in what man's really saying, like, and the position of the other person. So it's so important that we start to think about how are other people feeling. How has it made other people feeling? What other people feel? What other people gonna do? Because at the end of the day, for me, it's like, who am I as a person? Mm-hmm. Like, if I show you those that are around me, there needs to be a reflection of me in all those people. Yeah. And a lot of the time, that's not happening. There's no reflection, and we're not here saying, like, I remember, like, I had a brethren, and we got married, and this guy was like mad, moving to bare different girls, and I remember you telling me, oh yeah, I don't really want you to hang with him. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I remember thinking to myself, you know what, actually, that's true. And I remember having a conversation with him, like, you know what, bro, you got to chill out. Mm-hmm. Because actually what's happening now is your behaviour is now putting you in circles where people are saying, right, this guy's not someone that I want around my husband. Do you know what I mean? Women are now you're starting to get a reputation amongst women. And it's a bad reputation. And therefore now I'm going to have to start distancing myself from you. And when we had that conversation, that guy was like, you know what, bro, I need to change. I actually need to change. And I remember having a deep conversation and talking about, like, where do you think this comes from? Why do you think you need to, whatever, do you know what I mean? And we went in deep about it. And by the end of it, like, he was like, I need to change. Now my brother's getting married. Do you know what I mean? This is a good 3 years later. Yeah. But sometimes you can be the plant of seed that can be watered over time and make change. And a man who's ready to hear it from you, or your friend, a person that you're close with is ready to hear it from you because of the relationship that you have. And we are so quick to talk about banter, we're so quick to crack jokes, we're so quick to talk about things that are meaningless, things that add no value. But I want us to be quick to say, actually, you know what, this is a characteristic that I want, that needs to be changing you. And because it's changing you, it won't exist in your children. We are passing down no assets, but passing down generational curses.
Yeah. Oh, that is... Jeez.
And that must change.
It has to change.
It must change. We must start to focus on passing down assets, passing down good behavior, passing down good culture, good practices, a good mentality, being good people. These are the things that we want to pass down, and we need to break these generational curses, things that you've been through, and you pass that on to someone. No, it's gonna stop with you. Some of us need to have that conversation with ourselves and say, this stops with me. I went through it. My children will not have to go through it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Not just focus on the financial, but also focus on the mental. Also focus on what you're doing in the physical. And so for me, it's about that accountability. And a lot of the time, I feel like as men, especially as men, we don't talk about it because we don't want to be emotional. Yeah. And, we're men and everything is, we're hard and we don't talk. But actually, as men, if you know what it really is to be a man, like, we need to talk about how we're feeling, what's going on with our mindsets, and also we need to hold ourselves accountable to a standard, a high standard. We want to start setting high standards for ourselves that are passed down to our children.
No, I think definitely, and obviously with our kids as well, we are teaching them life's lessons. We're teaching them about the way the world works and how even how they treat their siblings. Because if they learn it from us, when they go outside, they will project what they've learned from home outside. And the I'm not gonna lie, the best thing is when you go to parents' evening and the teacher tells you your child is amazing. Your child is the nicest person in the class because you know that as a parent, you're doing a good job. It's As a woman, it's sad when you see, because I was asking Emmanuel and I was like, is it people are speaking about it now or is it happening a lot more now? And he said it's always been there, but no one's talking about it. But now people are feeling empowered to share their experiences. And maybe by more people sharing their experiences and not feeling ashamed, it will bring change and it will bring accountability, like you said. So, because if a woman says something, you'd be like, I didn't know that about him, or maybe I turned a blind eye. So now I'm going to challenge him on it because I don't want people to know that I'm associated with someone like that. And I hope that this brings more conversation and it brings more a look into yourself to see if there's something that you've missed or something that you could have said or can say now and bring change.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to know that I think we as a new generation have to stop this prize of being in a relationship. I think our culture is so much built on if you're married or if you've got a long-term partner, then you're doing well, and that's the biggest prize. Like, more than doing well at work or being successful. If your identity, your success in life is dependent on relationship, and we have to be the generation to break that curse and ban that, because lots of women have been staying in abusive relationships. Some of us know what our dads did to our mums. You know what I mean? And our mum stayed because she didn't want to get divorced, because the embarrassment of divorce to her was worse than the beatings that she was taking on a regular basis. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
There was I don't know if you've seen a story about the Nigerian gospel artist, and she's a gospel artist, her husband's a pastor, and she was getting beaten all the time to the point the last beating, unfortunately, she passed away. And now there's this big discussion in Nigeria saying, oh, is the church to blame? And who's to blame? Is it the church? Is it the pastor? She said she didn't want to be, like you said, the shame of it. And now everyone's talking about it, but I know that in 2 weeks' time, the story will be forgotten and then we will move on. Like, what's going to happen to the husband? Because he's a pastor.
What do you mean? I don't understand. If he killed somebody, he's not going to go to prison.
This is Nigeria.
Okay, well, but we're not there, innit? So there's nothing we can't control there. But what we can do is make sure that we are doing what's right in where we're at. And for me, I don't want, especially women, the pressure on women to say that, oh, you're only successful or if you're married or if you're in a long-term relationship. And so now you're gonna be so desperately wanting that relationship that when things go wrong or you're gonna accept it.
No.
I want especially women to know that you are valuable with or without a relationship. You are complete, and you're working on yourself and you are building yourself, and we're all work in progress. Not because you see me and Miriam married today and we're doing podcasts and we're laughing and smiling that every day is peace and joy. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, it's like sometimes, like you said, you don't know what's going on. You think, oh, this one's a pastor, this one's a gospel singer. They must be happy and enjoying life, and the truth is that they're not.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's really important that we say and we understand that don't look at nobody else. Don't put what you want in life based on what's happening with other people. Like, know what you want for your life, and know if you're in a situation where you're not happy with how it is, it's okay to step away from it.
Yeah.
Whether that means divorce, whether that means separation, whether that means being on your own, whether that means being cut off. Sometimes people are in financial bondage, where one partner earns all the money and he's like, well, okay, leave then, but who's going to pay your bills? Don't worry about that. Like, that will come. Find somewhere safe. Find a safe place to escape and you can build, you can go again.
And we know that it's not easy. We're not trying to downplay how hard it is to walk away from those type of situations, because there's stories of how people have walked away and it hasn't ended the best. But there is help out there. There are people that you can speak to, that they can help you set up a plan. So it's not just get up and go. You can plan it so that you can set yourself so that when you do leave, you're not relying on going back. And I'm sure you have friends that will help you and support you if you speak to them and say, look, I need your help in this situation. And if they can't help, you can find someone. We know that it's not easy, but don't sit there or don't stay just because you feel like there's no options. There's options.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's been said, but I think going back to it, yeah, that's great for women. But at the same time, I feel like I want us to really make sure that we are speaking to men. Speak in this situation. We're talking about domestic violence, but also we are speaking to our friends and making sure we're holding them accountable. Sometimes the way people behave, again, even just like you might have a friend that's really taking liberties with her partner, like she just takes, and she doesn't give, and have that conversation like you need to treat that man better because that man will eventually one day leave you, and you'll wish you still had him, and or he was still in your life, because like we should be able, if we've got a real friendship, we should be able to call each other out when we're making mistakes.
Absolutely.
And we should be able to hold each other accountable. And I'm not saying that you got to throw your friends in the bin, but at the same time, I feel like what's important is that you are holding them accountable. And if they choose not to change, then you have to, again, distance yourself. You have to show them that we can't chill together. I can't chill with someone of this level, someone that behaves in this way. So it's either you do the changes to come and behave at a level that I find acceptable for the people I want to have around me and in my life, or we stay separate. And when we see each other, we say, yo, you're okay, good, and keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? But know that, again, silence, you have to, being silent can lead to some, you spoke about, people leaving, but you're much more likely to be in danger if you stay than if you leave. Do you know what I mean? If you stay, one day, like you say, it's a B&B, and one day something goes wrong and you're gone. Do you know what I mean? And then who's looking after your children if you have children? Or the implications that on a family through death, like a mother or father having to bury their daughter or their son. Like it's a painful experience. And so for me, it's really important that we hold people accountable. I'm not waiting for social media or the news or the police to say, do this or do. We need to say, look, we know, yo, bro, that ain't acceptable. That ain't acceptable. And I expect you to change. And then follow up. Like sometimes also, if you know the other person, reach out to them. Like, yo, I heard this. Are you okay? I've told my brethren, like, listen, like, I'm just gonna holler, make sure. Do you understand? And I will holler at their partner, or whatever, and say, yo, I heard this. You okay? What's your side of the? Like, I'm not just, my brethren can't tell me, yo, bro. Oh yeah, I need to. What's it called? Da 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 da. My girl did da 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 da, and I'm just gonna be all on his side, or just I'm gonna say, yo, bro. Now you know what? For me to really, it sounds like a mad thing. Let me hear her side. Oh, actually, you know what? Come we discuss together. Like, do you know what I mean? And speak together. But sometimes if you feel like she's not going to be able to say her, like, okay, let me speak to her separately. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and have a conversation and see what she's saying. And so for me, we should have that. That should be open. Sometimes we've had arguments. I said, look, call my cousin. My cousin. Like, sometimes I said, look, call my cousin's wife. Like, if you don't want to speak to a guy, call my cousin's wife. See what she says about it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not saying that the two of us must always have the answers. Do you know what I mean? But there has to be a standard. Do you know what I mean? We can't be raising hands, abusing, even like physical, even like just cussing, like, oh, you look ugly, you look like, why are you with me then?
Yeah, true.
Why are you living in my house, eating my food, driving my car, but you think I'm ugly? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like, actually, your actions show me that obviously I must be doing something right. So if your words don't match your actions, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I need to create space between me and you. Like, people's words should match their actions. And we need to start putting the two together. Like, is what you're saying to me and what you're doing to me matching? If the two don't match, then where there's no match, if there's no harmony.
Yeah.
And because there's no harmony, we can't exist. So we need to take time from each other. We need to create space from each other so that you can get to a place where your words match your actions. That should be a standard. If you can't make your words match your actions, what are you doing in a relationship?
Yeah.
You can't tell me you love me and you're beating me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's so true. That is so true.
Your words do not match your actions. So we need separation. You can't tell me you love me and you're cussing me and you're talking down to me. You can't tell me you love me and then you're not around. Like, do you know what I mean? You're not here for me. You're not here to support me. Your words don't match your action. You can't say you love your kids. We're separated. You can't say you love your kids. You're not paying no child support.
And you don't even see them.
And then you don't come and see them. When you're supposed to come and see them, something comes up. Oh, I can't make it this weekend. Your words do not match your actions. And if your words do not match your actions, we must give you space and time to allow you to get to a place where your words can match your actions. Because that should be a standard.
Yeah. Absolutely. I completely agree.
Listen, I think we have preached enough today. Thank you for watching the podcast. I hope you learned something. I hope these conversations are adding value to you guys. You know, follow us on the socials, on Instagram, Mimi Tea Cakes,
Dear Suquos.
Obviously, I'm Eman and Mimi. Follow us, LinkedIn, everything. We're here, man. We're here. Follow us on socials. Obviously, thank you. Like, we're starting to rank on the podcast stuff, so thank you guys so much for helping us get into the rankings, for listening and so forth. And how long may that continue? Please, rate the podcast if you can on whatever platform you listen to. Leave a comment, share it with friends and so forth. And we'll see you on the next one. I've been Eman and
Mimi,
and this is the Eman Effect podcast. Until next time, people, blessings.
Thank you.